What's up, everybody? W's are for Wednesdays. W's are for wins. Beautiful 120-point play this morning. You can see these are my entries here. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what actually happened this morning. So going into the morning, we had been coming out of this pretty massive flush. And after a massive flush, price doesn't typically just go back up. Sometimes you'll see a V-shape, but most of the time, what it has to do is build liquidity so that we can then efficiently run the liquidity that was built. And so I don't want to be part of the build, I want to be a part of the run. And this morning, we had come right up to OTE, built up all that liquidity, come right up to OTE of this range, built up all this liquidity, we're delivering out of a higher time frame fair value gap, and had liquidity below us to target. So I was bearish on the day. And when we came to open, we got a tremendous amount of chop, right? This is our open here. We were just chopping around. And let me actually do this for you because there's some lessons in here. So we came down to this data low, which is always a huge draw on liquidity. We ran this data low pretty much straight at open. Tapped into this 15-minute, put in an SMT, had taken London lows, and rejected. And so a lot of fair value gap traders saw this here, saw a close above with this displacement, and they said, all right, I'm entering, I'm targeting London highs. If I turn this on, you can see London highs are here. But there was no change in the state of delivery. So this is not a valid play. And so all those fair value gap traders who entered here got rocked. And then what happened is we had a really aggressive push up where people saw momentum and thought, okay, this is the move, and they probably jumped in. But they didn't wait for a close. And what happened? The change in the state was rejected, and they got wrecked. And so price continued to do this. We were between this 15-minute bullish, this 5-minute bullish, and all of these bearish fair value gaps. You've got competing liquidity on both sides of this market. Buyers and sellers are in a tug of war, which is represented by all this wicky price action, which you can expect when you see stacked fair value gaps like this. So there's really, even if we had gotten a change in the state here, there's really no A+ setup. So I wasn't looking to take this. But I was seeing this rejection. This SMT gets put in with ES at these London highs, and we have all the liquidity that I mentioned below us. So I'm starting to think, where would the bearish play present itself? And so I zoomed out. When I zoomed out, I saw that what looked very choppy on the 1 minute was actually a pretty clean setup on the 15-minute, right? A singular, we've come up into OTE, we're delivering out of this higher time frame fair value gap, we've swept a bunch of liquidity, and we've got a singular 15 and a clear change in the state right here. We've had a manipulation up, all these buyers got trapped, and then we dump straight through this change in the state, disrespecting these two bullish 15 minutes at the exact same time. So I entered. Now I entered small because this is a pretty large bit of risk for me. I don't like taking trades with over 100 points of risk. So I entered really small across my accounts with my initial target at these Asia lows. And sure enough, price just rocketed straight down, right? This is the 15-minute chart. I was managing it on the 1 minute, but you can see we went straight down. We put in this order block, came back up, respected it, and then I had my TP down here because, like I said, I was on small contracts, so I'd rather just get as much of the play as possible. And this just looks like such an obvious market maker sell model when you take a step back, right? This is all the liquidity. This is all the liquidity that we have built up leading into this move, and then we are going to efficiently run that liquidity. And that is exactly what happened. I took my profits here. I had the team scale out here for anybody who had more than a small amount of contracts, because Asia low, this is still a great area for price to potentially reverse if this wanted to just be a manipulation like down and then come on back. Because price has also been, you can't disregard the fact that price has been kind of sideways for the past while, right? Look at the 1 hour chart. We are just accumulating in this area. So anything that's an area where price is likely or could potentially reverse, I want to play it safe. I want to take my money off the table and pay myself, which there's never anything wrong with doing. So this really, really clean trade this morning. Change in the state works out beautifully like it most of the time does. Straight to target, and then as you can see, we've now hit this target and we're starting to chop around a little bit. But I'm out. The whole team was done in 30 minutes, took everything live. If you are struggling with fair value gap inversions, if you're struggling with consistency, if you're struggling with patience or FOMOing into trades, highly encourage you, come check out the free trial, trade live with me, see what it's all about, see if it fits your vibe, and come learn something. All right, have a great day, everybody.